Hello, how are you all doing? I hope everything is great. Welcome to a new video on the channel. Today I'm bringing you a product that literally mows the lawn by itself. Yes, I'm not joking. It's the Ambo Genie 3000, a gardening robot with artificial intelligence, 300-degree vision, satellite connection, and it also has an anti-robot system. It cuts, avoids obstacles, and returns to base autonomously as advertised. So let's see what it's capable of and how it performs in today's video here on TechGround. Before we unbox this product, let me tell you who's behind this marvel. It's Anbot, an emerging brand that's creating smart devices for maintaining our gardens. They have Wi-Fi 4G and, most importantly, satellite connections. With this real-time kinematic, we can ensure precision and safety in our garden when mowing the lawn. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our rhymes. Now I'll leave you with the unboxing. We have a pretty simple box with a print of the robot itself on the outside and on the inside. Opening the package reveals the Genie is well packed with a 4-step quick start guide and a multilingual manual. And in the box we can find the charging station, the real-time kinematic support, an antenna for satellite connection, and the wiring already inserted for easy assembly. Tools, screws, spare parts and blades, ground stakes for fixing. And of course the robot, which looks like a spaceship. Now let's talk about its composition, its size, its dimensions, and its design. And this Almod comes with a pretty aerodynamic design which has a somewhat futuristic look and gives us a sense of sturdiness and good finish. It weighs 13 kilograms, which gives it stability on slopes without being unmanageable. Its dimensions are about 45 centimeters wide, 35 centimeters high, and 65 centimeters long. It is built with high-resistance ABS plastic and has ingress protection, 6 certifications which will allow it to work in light rain. Obviously, it's pouring rain. It's better to keep it stored and be able to wash it with a hose without any problem. However, don't use a pressure washer on it because you could damage some of the internal components inside the robo. As for the design, as you can see, it's a combination of different colors in gray tones, a very light gray that's almost white on the top part, a dark gray on the rear bumper, on the top part, on the visor where the cameras are, and on the sides. And on top, in the central module, we find the console where we'll have the veiled digital screen to be able to see the status, battery life, global positioning system, and coverage. And right below, we have 3 buttons. The settings button with play, where we have the initials MOU and odd numbers from 1 to 9. To set up our password, in the center we have the on, off button, the power button, which is also used for OK. On the right side of the menu, the home button. With even numbers as well, from 1 to 10, to be able to set up our password to our liking. It comes preset with a 0000, which is 4 digits. Below we can see a large prominent stop button for emergencies, allowing you to halt the machine instantly. And below the console we see these 2 pins, which would be the rain sensor that the device itself will have built in. It has 2 large treaded wheels for traction and 2 smooth wheels for pivoting at the bottom. It turns like a tractor. And a cutting disc with 5 interchangeable blades. And the setup is very simple. We open the app. I'm going to start recording the screen so you can see it with me. And here we are at the first screen. Add device. We tap on add device, then tap on done. It will now search via Bluetooth. The device is on, just tap it and enter the 4-digit activation code. We tap OK, enter the personal identification number here as well to confirm. And now it says that Bluetooth has connected successfully. We can rename it here if we want to call it Edge Ant. I'm going to give it this name because I feel like it. Rename a Wi-Fi connection. We will need to give it a Wi-Fi connection. After accessing the Wi-Fi, we entered the main page, which showed 0 square meters, as you can see. To begin, create a map. This is the initial step to start using it. As shown, you can add another device using the option at the top right. It will show us here the types of coverage, both Wi-Fi and satellite connection. The global positioning system is currently on, indicated by a steady green light signal. And here we also have the message section below, where it tells us about the pairing and the firmware. Everything it will tell us. If there is any notification, in our account and security section, we can share the device, change the language, and upload logs. After accessing the device, we'll create a map. Okay, it tells us that to ensure a good positioning signal, Genie will make sure of the position and the installation. Okay. Next, create the map boundary along the border. We can also do that ourselves. We're going to do it manually, okay? And it tells us to be at a distance and to have a minimum battery percentage. It also tells us about rainy days and automatic return and gives us some more guidelines. To expand and manage multiple maps with synchronized configuration of different areas. The height at which it will be cutting, and I'll go ahead and tell you, it says it will be from 3 centimeters up to 7 centimeters. This will give us a margin of about 4 centimeters to choose the height of our lawn. Of course, when it comes to mowing, as we can see, make sure there are no obstacles and avoid any incidents. To do the mapping, but since it has the ability to detect, it will also have to evaluate it itself while mowing. Ensure the global positioning system is on and the signal is active, then confirm. Apologies for the repetition. Now it's inspecting, the energy is sufficient, and it would already go out, then it would do the mapping, and here we would just follow it. We can pivot and switch the camera. I'll face it forward to focus on this area, so we can run the tests, okay? We carefully take it around the corner to later get the edge just right. It's like driving a remote control car, very simple. I'm going behind the tree and doing the entire outer perimeter, though you likely can't see it. The storm is approaching rapidly, as evident from the map that's being automatically updated. It's moving at a considerable speed. For mapping, you'll need to follow the device through all the areas you want to recognize to keep the connection stable and avoid losing signal. The complete map has been made, reaching the starting point and switching automatically. But I also wanted you to see how things are done this way. In this mode, it will plan the entire map in area mode, only by areas, in a fixed point mode. We can take it there, designate a place where we want, and here we can adjust the heights, okay? As you can see, the app shows us everything. It's super simple, very easy. It guides you really well through the whole app and explains the functions to you. If you want restricted areas, if you want to add any special area, and now it's returning to its charging station since it's finished, and that's it. Here we have it. It's already created the map. Here we can see in the app that it's at 77% charge. It's recharging, and here it will continue with its charging process. We can start, finish, or recharge. The device, if we don't go here, in the settings, we can also schedule the hours ourselves and choose when we want the task to be done. On the other hand, the do not disturb mode. We can also set specific time slots, like from 2 post meridian to 3 post meridian when we don't want it to be working. That concludes map management. Here I have one map, but we can expand this same map and we can keep adding more zones within the map management we're in. We can edit a zone, edit the border, how we want the border to work, all the borders, and we can also delete the map. Then, regarding the function settings, we'll have rain detection, which we'll have enabled, and here it tells us the cutoff time, the delay time. To ensure that the robot performs well, it is recommended to set a delay of 3 hours after the rain, so it doesn't get clogged and the grass doesn't stick to it. For the voice settings, I'll set it to Spanish now. The package is downloading, as the network settings were in English. I don't have Wi-Fi enabled currently. Firmware update, security protection mode, and blind registration are visible. Here it's going to tell us the total area and the number of times it's blocking, device information, and manual. This would be pretty much the whole application since there's not much more to it. We even have online support, so if we have any questions or any problems, we have direct contact with them here. So that's it. I'll keep telling you more things and I'll leave you with the tests. We've completed the basic setup, including turning on the device, initializing it, and creating a map of the work area for configuration. The app is simple, fast, and nothing more. Let's discuss the technical specs, which are crucial for selecting a product with these features. First, it has a 10,000 mAh battery providing excellent autonomy. This will give us a cutting time of approximately 240 minutes. The good thing is that it features fast charging. In just 120 minutes or 2 hours, it will be charged to 100%. Honestly, this is really good because if we're going to be working for quite a while on different days and in different areas, so having a battery that charges quickly will also make the work easier and get it done in less time. The most notable technology is its real-time kinematic with satellite signal, which will enable via artificial intelligence. It goes precisely along all the edges and practically down to the centimeter, where we can choose the area we want to work on. Therefore, we will also have very good connectivity in terms of 4G and Wi-Fi signal, which in this case will use 2, 4G, and of course, as I mentioned, the satellite signal and the vision system are features that are not as advanced in other models, but in this Genie they are. It has 4 cameras, 2 on the sides and 2 on the front, and an LED to provide light when there isn't much. And that will give it a pretty wide peripheral vision, as I mentioned, of 300 degrees to avoid obstacles if there's a cliff, and also to avoid any kind of collision. As for the cutting precision, we will be able to choose between 3 centimeters and 7 centimeters, which will give us a pretty distinct margin when it comes to choosing how we cut our lawn. This is going to be ideal if we want our lawn to always stay at a certain height. You just have to set it in the app, and this way it will automatically always cut at the same height using its sensors. Therefore, we will have an area of up to 3,600 square meters that we can use for mowing. We can create up to 30 zones independently. For example, I can create this one here where I have the porch. I can create this one here where I have the shed. I can create the one for the pool. I can create the one for the tree. That is all of that. And we'll be able to interconnect them so it moves from zone to zone. Honestly, that's really great. It will also be able to climb slopes of up to 20 degrees. Which means if we have land, if our house is on a bit of a hillside or has a slope, or if we have an access ramp to our house or building, well, we can also count on it being able to go up those slopes without any problem. Of course, one of the important features it also has is its anti-theft system, since it uses a global positioning system signal. So Genie will activate an alert if it goes outside a certain range of its assigned area. Another great benefit is its ecological advantage. That is, many of the lawnmowers we're used to seeing, besides being noisier, you always have to wear a helmet. They run on gasoline, they're smelly. This one is much quieter and will cut the grass while also using everything it leaves behind as fertilizer. It doesn't have a box to collect all the waste, but it will leave it behind. And that's also good for our land. This way, it can use the clippings as food to help the grass grow again on our property. Of course, we'll be able to work with it in adverse weather conditions since it has ingress protection, 6 protection and certification as I mentioned before, and it's made of quite durable material. So you won't have any problem washing it with a hose. As I said, avoid using a pressure washer or high pressure gun underneath, as it could damage some parts. In conclusion, if you're looking for an autonomous and safe system that lets you spend your free time doing other things instead of worrying about mowing your lawn, I highly recommend the Anbot Genie 3000, since it has very precise accuracy with this satellite real-time kinematic and offers very advanced features, and an app with which you'll be able to control absolutely everything. On the downside, it's only for maintaining the garden, not for destroying it. The size limitation ranges from 3 to around 7 centimeters. And besides that, well, I totally recommend it if you want something modern and automatic. The price for the Pro combination on their website is around 1,700 euros, where we're going to have the complete set, the charging base, the robot, the real-time kinematic, and also the features to be able to hang it on the wall. Leave your opinion in the comments. We'll read any questions or doubts you have. Like, if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next Tech Ground video soon.